Lahore, once known as the City of Gardens, now chokes every winter. This is the story of a silent killer, smog. But the question is, what causes smog and what are the effects? Well, smog is caused by poor management of air pollution, such as the brick kilns, vehicle emissions, and then, of course, the most important, the burning of agricultural land all over Punjab.
Samuel, it is very good to have you here. I wanted to ask, knowing that you are greatly affected by this smog atmosphere which is just passed in Pakistan right now, can you describe how it personally feels to a common man knowing that the smog out here is 2000 AQI?
Okay, first of all, thank you for having me here and asking this question. It's quite personal to me to answer this. I feel when I see the smoke out there in the seasons when I personally suffer due to my condition of some sinus condition that I have.
Yes,
So yeah.
we wanted to know how does, because if it's a common person, he's affected by this breathing and all, but if you have a disease, then how does it affect you that way?
I feel very emotionally vulnerable, though it's a biological condition, but I feel the lack of emotional empathy that is in our society, because all those who are creating or who are causing somehow, this smoke, they are unaware of the troubles, they are unaware of the pains that people like me has to go through for the smoke they have created. And every time I suffer through that, I feel like, okay, our community as a whole lacks empathy and sympathy towards, and we do not give a second thought while doing anything, while taking some actions that lead us towards creating more smoke and more environmental pollution. We do not even give a second thought that either it is going to cause some harm or it is going to cause any kind of discomfort to anybody. So it's not only biologically painful, but it's physically painful. It's also emotionally painful to suffer that.
And what kind of precautions do you take throughout this period, like this winter review that went on?
I have to wear mask all the time, and that becomes also troublesome and hectic every time you're carrying the mask. And considering my condition, then I start feeling claustrophobic, and it's a trauma that is going through those days. I avoid traveling. My physical activity drops to zero. It has greatly impacted other functions of my body. I become less active. I become more lethargic. I feel like there's a lack of oxygen in my body, and I couldn't perform more productively and functionally. So there is a very visible reduction of my productivity in those days.
And lastly, I want to know that what do you think? What can the authorities do about it? And also, how does it mentally affect you? How does it mentally torture somebody by smoke?
I would prefer this thing that now is the time that we should inculcate environmental safeties and environmental steps into the culture. The biggest problem that we have, despite the fact if you like criticize and say and if you stress upon that it should be added into the syllabus and everything, have came to the result that now is the time that these things should be inculcated into our cultural practices, and we should celebrate the culture of preserving the environment and the culture of keeping the environment very clean. And we as a nation, we as a community should collectively develop a culture where we learn to say, okay, no, this particular action is going to cause more environmental damage, so no. So let's learn to say no towards the things that cause environmental pollution and that cause the smoke and everything. Culturally, we have to say no. It's not going to be a one man's job. It's going to be a collective job. But obviously, it is going to start with one man, and we all should, in our own individual capacities, take the steps that.
There are not only health effects of smog, but smog drastically affects the economy too. Smog doesn't just choke our lungs, it strangles our economy. According to the World Bank, air pollution costs Pakistan nearly 6.5% of its GDP annually through lost labor productivity, healthcare costs, and premature deaths. When the air quality index crosses hazardous levels, schools shut down, businesses reduce working hours, and logistics slow to a crawl. In the agricultural sector, smog delays harvest and reduces the crop yields. Healthcare systems are overwhelmed. Respiratory illness cases increase by 30% in smog season. Most critically, it discourages foreign investment. Hence, we decided to make an AI helpline for the people around us to ponder upon the fact that how smog affects them, affects the society, and how they can contribute their part. This is the last from our side. Thank you